Hello friends, welcome to Global Online. Today we are discussing NTA UGC NET 2023 Paper 2 Economics. In this class we discuss about factor pricing from microeconomics, and this topic we deal with PYQs. So it will really help you to get the questions and also the way of delivering answers. So let's start with the first question. The income effect. When income effect becomes stronger than substitution effect, the labor supply curve will, what happened to labor supply curve when the income effect is stronger or greater than substitution effect? And here the income effect and substitution effect related to the labor supply, and whether it is slope positively or negatively or bend backward or slope upward. So here the income effect is stronger than substitution effect. So the answer for this question is bend backward, because the income effect here means the workers demand more income than work. So the income will rise but the work does not get into the improvement level or to the profit level. So the labor supply curve will bend backward, or the producers will demand only the less number of labors. Here the substitution effect means the workers will substitute the work instead of income. So the graph that it will really help you to get what is substitution and what is the income. And the upper layer or the upper portion of the curve, that from the middle to the top, is the substitution effect is lesser than the income effect, or the income effect is stronger than the substitution. So the labor supply curve will bend backward. And the next is, when substitution effect is greater than income effect, so the producer will demand more and more labors. So here the income effect and substitution effect will determine the shape of the labor supply curve, whether it is greater than income effect. The substitution effect greater than income effect means the producers will demand more labors, and when the substitution effect is lesser than income effect, it means that the labor supply curve will bend backward and the producer will demand only the less numbers of labor. Okay, and the next question related to the substitution effect. As long as the substitution effect dominates, or the substitution effect is stronger than the income effect, the labor supply curve will the opposite of the income effect, that is positively sloped, or it is the slope like this, like a supply curve. So more and more increasing or more and more rise in substitution effect, the producers will demand more and more workers because of the increasing in the profit. So that dominates the markets or dominates in the labor supply curve, and the labor supply curve will look like positively sloped. And when the income effect is greater than substitution effect, it will make the labor supply curve to bend backward. Next question related to the marginal productivity theory, and that relates to what? Whether it's related to the concept of scarcity or demand and supply of resources, remuneration of resources, or none of this. So here the marginal productivity theory that relates to what? It relates to the remuneration of resources. Here the remuneration means the get back to the resources. The resources here means land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship, and the remuneration for that resources are rent, profits and wages. So here the remuneration for resources that will relate to the marginal productivity theory. Clear? And here the marginal productivity theory explains about the theory holds that employers will tend to hire workers of a particular type until the contribution that the last worker makes to the total value of the product is equal to the extra cost of incurred by the hiring of one more worker. So here they want to get the benefit from hiring one more worker, and also that will equate to the particular type of worker contribution. Clear? And next question related to the factor prices, and here that determined in the market under forces of what, and the factor prices will determined by which forces in the market, whether it is elasticity of demand or it's elasticity of supply, or demand and supply both, or none of these. And we know that the factor prices here means the prices or the remuneration that get for the factor, and whether the demand, elasticity of demand and also the elasticity of supply, both are different concept. Whether the increasing in the price of one of the factor, it will cause the demand for that factor to reduce, and whether the price to decrease, that causes the elasticity of demand to rise. So the one of the factor is one of the demand, elasticity of demand and elasticity of supply, both have effects. So here the combined or the determined in the market by the factor prices are demand and supply. So both demand and supply can contribute to the determination of factor prices. Clear? And before we move into the next question, let's look what Global Online offering for you. We provide complete syllabus, video lectures, notes, mock tests and last 10 years of PYQs. And it will really help you to catch the exam in the first attempt. And you can get it from our app in the Play Store, and after getting our app, enroll the required courses. Whether you have any doubt, please contact with the WhatsApp number and get paper 1 complete course free with paper 2. Okay, and next question we relate to the marginal productivity theory again. And the marginal productivity theory, according to this, the price of a factor of production depends on which force? The marginal utility, marginal productivity, or both marginal utility and marginal productivity, or neither A nor B. So the marginal productivity means the unit productivity or the extra additional benefit that get from one additional factor or one additional unit of the particular factor. So here the marginal utility means the satisfaction that get from the particular unit, and productivity means the productive force or the benefits that get from the particular unit. So the both utility and productivity are look-alike same, but are some differences. Here the marginal productivity theory depends on the marginal productivity but not the marginal utility. Here the satisfaction will change according to the resources or change according to the one more or more and more resources, but the productivity here it will increase due to the rising in the factors. So the marginal productivity theory completely or particularly depends on the marginal productivity. Okay, and the firm's equilibrium condition in the factor market using marginal productivity approach. So here the equilibrium condition of the firm in the factor market by using the marginal productivity approach is what? Whether the units of labor up to the point where MR equals to the MC, or the productivity equals to the cost. And the second one, the MR equals or is more than MC, or the marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost. And the third one, marginal revenue of the particular labor is less than the marginal cost. So these are the main things, and all of the above is the last option. So the firm's equilibrium here means the factors or the thing that MR equals the MC, or marginal revenue productivity of labor is equal to its marginal cost. So equilibrium means the equality between the MR and MC here, but not the MR greater than MC or MR less than MC. Okay, And the next question related to, we should employ units of a factor to a point where, or at which point we want to employ the units, or when we want to stop the units employment in the production of a particular product. And here the MR is negative, or the MP is equal to the price of the factor, or MP is positive, or MP is rising. And here the factor to a point where the units are employed is MP is equal to the price of the factor, or marginal productivity equal to the price of the factor. So we want to equate the price of that particular factor to the productivity of that particular factor. So the MP will equates to MP equals to the price, or the AR in the case of perfect competition. So the employees, or at that point we want to employ the required units of factor, and after the point we want to stop the employment of such units, so that will make the production unit more successful or more profitable, and later that point it will make a loss because the MP is less than the price. That means the productivity is lower than the price. But in case of the price is less than the MP, it means that the resources make mismatch in the, or misuse in the production unit. So it's better to make the MP is equal to price to a factor, or to a firm. And the next question related to the MRP greater than the price of the factor, or the marginal revenue product of the factor is greater than price of the factor. The firm should hear which resources, or quantity of the resources here, less factors or the same factors at the earlier stage, or more factors, or all of the above. And here the MRP means the marginal revenue product, or the price of, and the price of the factor is the thing that we want to get the factor, or the cost of that factor. And the answer to this question is more factors, because the revenue product, or the marginal revenue product is greater. So the price of the factor is lower than the productivity. So we want to get more and more factors. It's very beneficial to the firm to get that particular factor again and again to make more successful units, and also become profitable, or make more units to get the factor into the firm. Okay, next question related to the assumption that not included in the marginal productivity theory of distribution. So there are some assumptions given in the option, and from this option we want to get the answer that is not the assumption. In a particular question you have you did not notice the word not, but in case that will make the answer to be wrong. So essentially you need to make the correct statement, or the correct meaning of the question, and after that you want to answer the question. Okay, so here the note the assumption of the marginal productivity theory, and the options given are homogeneity of a factor, or perfect competition in the factor market, or all factors except one are variable, and also the last one is given stock of each factor and full employment. So in this, what is the particular thing that is not the assumption of marginal productivity theory? And here all factors except one are variable. In marginal productivity theory, that is the long run theory, or it is the thing that here many things are variable, but in case the option given is one are variable, all factors except one are variable, but in case the long run period many factors are variable. So the marginal productivity theory perform in the long run, and the homogeneity of a factor is an assumption, and also the perfect competition in the factor market is also an assumption, and the given stock of each factor and full employment. Here the stock of each factor is given, and also all factors are employed in the assumption. This is such an assumption, but in real life there is does not happen to be to get the stock of each factor and also the full employment is not at all possible. But the assumption says that the given stock of each factor and also the full employment is possible, but the factors one are not variable. The many factors are here variable because the marginal productivity theory of distribution perform or introduced in the long run. Okay, the next question relates to marginal product again. Is calculated by multiplying dash by the dash. So, the marginal product is calculated by which factors, or the marginal product or the price of the product, wage or the price of the product, quantity or wage rate, total product or wage rate. And the answer here, marginal product with the price of the product. We in earlier question also we see that the marginal product and also the price of the product, it makes meaning in the marginal productivity, because we want to get what's the benefit or what is the marginal product or the additional benefit that get from the one more unit. And also the price of the product also makes the changes in the productivity. Whether the price increases the marginal productivity, it causes the low situation, and whether the marginal product is higher than the price, it is the successful position, and the equality of both will make firm's equilibrium. So the marginal productivity or the marginal product is calculated by multiplying marginal product by the price of the product. And the next question, if the wage rate increases or rises, the firm's demand for labor curve, or the wage rate increases, what happened to the demand for labor curve? In normal demand also we see that the wage rate or the income increases, the wage rate means, or the price increases, the firm's demand for, here the firm's demand, we assume that is the demand for us or the quantity that we demand. When price increases, what happened to the quantity demanded? It will lower, or it will make changes, does not shift, but there is a movement along it. We can see the such a demand curve. It is the primary demand curve, the initial demand curve, and that is named by D1. And when the price rises or the price increases, what happens to the quantity? It will make, and this is the initial one. And when price increases, it will happen to here. So that moves along the curve. This shift to this position from here to there. So the curve or the demand curve does not shift leftward, or it does not shift and there is no movement. Is wrong. There is anything that makes changes in the demand curve, and also shift rightward is never comes, but it does not shift, but the movement along it. Here is the movement along the demand curve. Okay, and the next one, the economist, who is not related to the marginal productivity theory, and here given Marshall, Lionel Robbins, J.B. Clark, and T.H.P. Thunen. And in Alfred Marshall, he related to the marginal productivity, and also Thunen and J.B. Clark also related to the marginal productivity theory. So the one who, Lionel Robbins, who related to the definition of economics, and also he given the three main assumptions for economics, but he is not related to marginal productivity theory. Okay, so the Thunen also related to the marginal productivity, and the next question related to this, what are the kinds of distribution of income? And what are the kinds here means the distribution of income depends on which forms, which type of distribution. Income distribution, whether it's personal and functional, or personal and impersonal, profit and functional, or profit personal distribution. And there are two important distribution types, that is personal and functional. Personal means the distribution that for us and the functional means the variety of functions that relates to the distribution, that relates to the income. And here impersonal means also the functional, but here the functional also means the production and also the other needs of the firm. Okay. And the next question relates to the demand curve for labor. This question that's for you. The demand for curve for labor shift to the left. So here the demand curve is like that. This is the demand curve, and this shift to the left. So here this shift to the left, that means that reduction in the demand for labor and dash in price of firms. So when the demand curve shift to the labor, demand curve shift to the left, what happens to the price of the product that produced by a firm? So the answer for this increases, decreases, constant along the demand curve. And the answer for this question you can type in the comment box. And any doubts regarding to this question, please ask in the comment box also. And the next question, that's a homework question in yesterday's lecture, that is perfectly competitive firms are price takers because. And what is the reason that makes a perfectly competitive firms to be a price taker? And the options given, the firms are very large, and also there is no good substitute for their goods, and many other firms produce identical products, and also the last option, the demand curves are downward sloping. And the answer for this, many firms produce identical products. So there are many firms producing that such type of products, so that that makes competition among them. So they do not make the price, or they do not cut the price. So it happens to be they are a price taker, or they have to be a price taker in the firm to continue. So this is the reason why they are price taker. Okay. And in this we end the session, and we will meet in the next video. Until then, bye. Thank you.